What song were you singing?
Down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
Hey, welcome friends. I love saying that. Good friends out there.
I know.
So that
our three friends?
yeah, all three of them. Don't make me laugh like that. That messes me up. Don't say funny stuff. Be serious. Welcome, three friends. Hey, it's very interesting. So the video you just saw was from today. So Teresa was out in the back and doing something, and little Oni was riding his little electric quad around. And every time he made a loop, Teresa was thinking, "Is he singing something?" And then he would pass by and she'd listen, like, "All right, maybe not." So she goes back to whatever she was doing, and he goes around, and she could hear him singing. And then he comes back around, and then he kind of stopped when he had to do some navigating. So finally she called him over. "Come here. Are you singing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm singing." You saw it. And he's singing "Down by the Riverside." It's like, where did he come up with that? But the interesting thing is, there's a verse in there, and he probably was singing it, that says, "I'm going to walk with the Prince of Peace." And we've sang it at Gospel Jam, and we just love that verse. I love it. And here he was singing this, and interestingly enough, that's what we're going to talk about today. So I just thought this is...
It's a God thing.
It's a God thing. So we're going to do things a little different today. In the past, the other few times we did this, we played a song and then we talked and we played a song. But today we're going to probably talk first and play a couple songs at the end and mix it up, because, you know, we're just crazy like that.
No, you're crazy.
Like that. Yeah, that's crazy. So this whole week been another one of those weeks where it's just bad air quality. So I've been stuck inside again, and you know, I work 9 hours a day, so that's pretty much taken. But you know, after that, I'm still back to just, what are you gonna do after that? You're stuck inside. So I end up just a lot of time to think and a lot of time to use my phone and prowl around and see what the rest of us are thinking on Facebook. The other thing, and I haven't talked about this too much, but you know, my health-wise, and took a little dive, and I'm back to a big old handful of pills every morning, the exact same amount of pills that I ended up taking the day I got discharged from the hospital. So I'm back to all of that, and that means pretty much I don't sleep at night. So I got all night to sit around and think, and to look at Facebook and see what everybody else is thinking. And so it kind of sent me kind of in a direction this week to think about things, and of course, you know, praying about it. Lord, what would be a good thing for me to talk about? And then, you know, pretty quickly, I think I kind of had it figured out. So I got a bunch of things kind of rolling around in my head. Now, one other thing, we thought, since, you know, we're kind of doing this and we're doing it on the Gospel Jam page, we'll do this Gospel Jam style. So what does that mean? It means we don't practice. We don't practice what we're gonna talk about. And very little, the least amount of possible practice, even with the music, even with the two songs we're gonna play. A little while ago, we sat here. All we did was, well, how am I gonna start the song? And then after that, that's it. We just let it go. So that's Gospel Jam.
Yeah, there's not going to be smooth transitions between songs like you see in church, and you know, going from chord, making this progression into the next. No, that's not happening.
There will be none of that.
He's going to have to change the capo.
I will have to change the capo and probably say something funny in between or try to make it work. But anyway, that's our plan. You know, we're not going to rehearse much and just see where it goes. And so I got about like 50 things rolling around in my head that I'm about to try to pull all together into something that's usable and, at least for me, important. And so we'll see how that goes. So I've been sitting around all week just thinking, and a few things happened. So one of the things was we're working slowly on redoing the whole guitar shop, and I had to clean out a desk, and I ended up with a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to send over to Miss Trammell, who does our kids ministry at church, and one of them was glow in the dark crosses. And I'm like, oh man, I remember when I was a kid, I've told this story at Gospel Jam a couple of times, but you know, I got a glow in the dark cross, and because I'd memorized some stuff, and it really got me thinking about when I was a kid and being in Sunday school. And then that got me thinking about all these things that we learn in Sunday school that are so important. We've got to teach these kids, you know.
Wait. You need to back up and talk about the cross for a second that you got. But, okay, you got to tell that story.
Oh, man, that's a long
No,
story.
you need to tell it. Tell it. You can shorten it up.
I can't shorten anything.
Yeah,
I've never shortened any story up.
That's true. All right, try it.
Yeah.
Try it to the best of your ability. Shorten that story up because people should hear it.
Okay,
it's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna try. So we go to a little American Baptist church in the town of Huron, and Pastor Reverend Briles, he did everything. He was one of those. I mean, he would come and see you on Wednesday night, have dinner with you, and then, you know, Sunday he's the pastor, he's the kids, he's the Sunday school, he does everything. So we were in there one day, and he said he held up a cross, and it was plastic, and it glowed in the dark. And he said, the first kid that learns, you know, I don't remember what it was, the 23rd Psalm, the books of the Bible, whatever it was, I'm going to give you one of these. And I'm like, man, I got to have that. And so, man, the moment we're in the car on our way home, you know, I'm sitting over there, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. I mean, I'm going through everything. My mom said, what are you doing? I said, I'm memorizing the books of the Bible. We're going to get if I can be the first one, I'll get a glow in the dark cross. And so I'm going to get it. So we get home. I mean, I'm just going through it. You know, we're already home, and I'm like, hey, so we need to call that preacher and tell him I'm ready. And my mom's like, you can't call him right now. We just got home. No, I'm ready. I want to be the first one. I think I got it. So it's like, we are not going to call him. And no, you're going to have to wait till
Wait, how old were you?
I don't know. I was maybe 7.
Okay.
And so I was ready, man. I showed up over there, got there early, walked in like, hey, Pastor, come here. I'm ready, man. I need to. So I went back there, and I just went through the whole thing so fast. I don't even know if I got it right. He probably doesn't either. I said it so quickly. You know how numbers, you know, rolled through the whole thing, just gibberish almost. But anyway, I got it. So I got this glow-in-the-dark cross that was about this big. And, oh, man, I was so happy. And I got home, and I, you know, sat that thing, hammered a big old nail in the wall, probably, you know, that big, and hung that thing up. And then that night, I turned off my lights, and there it was. It just glowed in the dark. And I loved it. And so time went through, and I figured out a little plan that right before I went to bed, I would go in there and turn the light on. All I had was a lamp with a little lampshade, and I would sit that thing upside down on the lampshade, and then it would charge. And then when it came time for me to go to bed, I could take it off and hang it on the wall, and then turn the light off, and boom, there's that beautiful cross just glowing up there in the dark. And these were the days, you know, before all this electronic stuff. I mean, when you turned out the lights, it was dark. So this went on for a while, and then one day I did the same thing, and I came in, and apparently maybe Mom had, my light bulb had gone out, and Mom had changed the light bulb from probably, you know, a 60 watt to 100 watt.
Oh gosh.
And so before I even got there, I smelled it, you know, that burning plastic smell, and I walked in, and that thing had just melted, and it was just a glob of melted plastic over this light bulb and black smoke. And
oh my goodness.
I'm not kidding. I screamed that bloody murder scream. And my mom ran in there. Man, she grabbed me up and had me in the car. We were halfway to the hospital from my screaming before she realized I wasn't hurt. I didn't have any blood, any broken arms. Just, what is wrong with you? I melted the cross. I'm going to hell. And so she stopped.
Oh my goodness.
She laughed a little bit, and I told her what happened, and she calmed me down a little bit and told me, you know, it's a piece of plastic. That is just a piece of plastic, you know. What it represents and all that, that's real. That's serious stuff. But, you know, that cross or any other cross, and I've got 100 of them right now, you know, they're a piece of plastic or a piece of wood or whatever it is. But, you know, for a kid at that point, you know, melting that thing, and I figured I'm doomed. So, but my mom helped me out. But anyway, now I'm all messed up. Where was I in there?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So anyway, so I thought about Mrs. Trammell and sending this, and then I got to thinking about, you know, Sunday school and how important that was, and and all these things that are, you know, so important in Sunday school, and then we get to be an adult, and then it's like, no, that's Sunday school stuff, and it's stuff like turning the other cheek. You hear any adults talking right now about, you know, about turning the other cheek, or being meek, or, you know, these kind of things, and I realized that, yeah, we sort of lost that, you know, as adults. But I'm sure if we talk to Miss Trammell, it's still an important thing to teach to kids, but apparently it's not as important to teach to adults. And I was thinking about that, and then I started thinking about Mahatma Gandhi. You know, he just went by Gandhi. He was one of those cool people that can, you know, that went by just one name.
Like you.
Like Raj. So anyway, so Mahatma Gandhi, or just Gandhi, and so who went to visit him?
It was Billy Graham.
Billy Graham. So Billy Graham went to visit him in India and meet him, and he showed up, and you know, he had a very modest house and very Spartan decorations, and Billy Graham got in there and looking around, he didn't really have anything on the wall, except for he had one thing that was very prominent, that Gandhi had printed the Sermon on the Mount and had it on his wall. And so Billy Graham asked him, said, so, wow, you got that? And he's like, yes, you know, I love that. And, you know, he said, I love Jesus, and I love this, and I want it here so that every single day of my life, I can wake up and I can walk right there and read it, so that I can try to model my life to this every single day. I thought, wow, that's, and so I went back and I started reading through that, and I realized that's maybe a little bit where we've kind of, you know, dropped the ball. That this is such an important things, and it's a little bit of that, you know, teaching in Sunday school, and it's important. And then when we get to adults, maybe we don't have as much time for that, or maybe other things are more important. So I wanted to talk about that just a little bit. You know, it's one of those things that the Sermon on the Mount could be, you know, a month or a year of just talking about and really, you know, kind of dissecting the Sermon on the Mount. I just want to bring it up to the front a little bit. And so I had asked Rhonda before, I only really want to talk about one of them, but that if Rhonda would read the Sermon on the Mount, and I think there's 9 different tenets in there, I think. And
okay. You ready for me to read it?
Is that your Bible?
Okay.
Man, look at that. That's a giant Bible, man. That's got like some kind of giant print version or something.
Okay, Googly.
Aye. You gonna read it without glasses?
I'm gonna read it without glasses.
Okay, well then that's giant print version.
Okay, I'm gonna read the greatest sermon ever preached.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, it's Matthew 5:5, and it says, one day, as he saw the crowds gathering, Jesus went up to the mountaintop and sat down. His disciples gathered around him, and he began to teach them. God blesses those who are poor and realize their need for him, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. God blesses those who are humble, for they will inherit the whole earth. God blesses those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied. God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. God blesses those who work for peace, and this is the one you're talking about, for they will be called the children of God. God blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs.
That's beautiful. Give me a minute, I'm a little touched.
Yeah.
Just hearing those words. So, were there 9 of them? I get that part right.
Let me
Yes,
see.
I think.
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
Okay. So,
No, 9 because there's another one that I didn't read. Do you want me to read it?
read that? Yeah, let's read that.
God blesses you when people mock you and persecute you and lie about you and say all sorts of evil things against you because you are my followers. So yes, there were 9.
So how many times have you heard or thought about being meek in the past week or the week or two? I mean, it's left us. There's no room for being meek. And then yet we hear that in the Sermon on the Mount. The one that really touched me this time was blessed are the peacemakers. And some of them, and I would encourage you to go through all of them. When you do, we all know how to Google, and you can do them one at a time and help you maybe understand a little more about exactly what it's talking about. But some of them aren't quite as straightforward. That turn the other cheek kind of stuff. You could spend a whole month talking about that. Just as an example. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, and maybe it is, but there's a lot of interpretations of that about, back then they would, if somebody was going to smack you, they did it with their clean hand, the right hand, and if they smack you on the right side, it would have to be with the back of the hand, so it was more of an insult and things like that. But to jump over here to blessed are the peacemakers, that's pretty straightforward. Blessed are the peacemakers. You look around this world, certainly this country today, and there's not much peace.
No, there's no peace right now.
I'm gonna tell you, in my time at night and not sleeping and scrolling through Facebook, that's not peace. That's not peace. There's no peace there. Nobody's trying there. But if we don't have peace, it's because we don't have enough peacemakers. And I don't think you need a Bible degree to figure out what a peacemaker is. I mean, this is somebody who wants to make peace. He looks to bring things together, and we talk about Jesus, the Prince of Peace, and we're supposed to follow Jesus, and that's what Oni was singing today. I'm going to walk with the Prince of Peace. And then we do as a kid, and then we get to be an adult, and that's out. So I'm gonna challenge myself, and in the process, I hope maybe I can challenge others that this whole week I'm gonna be like Gandhi. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna read the Sermon on the Mount, and I'm gonna each one of those I'm gonna think about them and try to make sure that I fully understand what Jesus was saying. He did these just handful of things, but there's a million things out there that he could have pulled in and said, blessed are the, he could have said, blessed are the people who find them a group and then join that group and be against a bunch of people. But he didn't say that. He said, blessed are the peacemakers. He said, blessed are these things. He chose these 9 things, for a very important reason. And so I'm gonna wake up every morning this week like Gandhi, and I'm gonna read through that. And I'm gonna try to see how can I use that today. And especially the peacemaker. Blessed are the peacemakers. It said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. I want to be called that. I want to be called a child of God.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm going to be called a child of God. And so, I'll read it, think about it, and find out how can I do that today. When I'm sitting here thinking, what am I going to post on the Facebook? Is that being a peacemaker, or is that being something else?
Right.
All of us. This is the hard part right here. This is a little bit of the scary part. Every single one of us, at some point, we're going to be up there, and we're going to be standing. I don't know what that means exactly, at the pearly gates or whatever. But we're going to be up there, and we're going to be looking Jesus face to face. And what are we going to say when he says, wait, you know what? I sat on the top of a hill, and I said 9 important things, and one of them was, blessed are the peacemakers, and you'll be called children of God. How did you miss that? How did you do all this stuff and then completely miss out being a peacemaker? And man, that's going to be a tough one. I don't know what we're going to say. Well, actually, I didn't really fully understand, or, I don't know what excuse we could possibly make. But even with that, now you're in bigger trouble, because then you're going to say, well, hold on a second. I talked Raj into giving you a little bit of a heads up on this. And then like, well, yes, I did hear that. So I'd either, a couple things, I'd either 1, start being a peacemaker, or 2, start working on your excuse.
Yeah, excuses don't go very far.
I know.
They really don't.
Hey, so thank you. Thank you for sitting through all of that and that long little story about melting that cross. Do you want to talk just for a minute about why we chose the 2 songs we chose?
So we're going to do a couple of songs today. I had an uncle that passed away this past week, and I feel like he was a peacemaker. I know that he was a Christian, not because of things that I learned this weekend when I watched his service on Facebook. I learned that he was part of the deacons and on the board at a church, and I didn't realize that, but I knew he was a Christian. And I'm not talking about a Christian that you see on news. I'm not talking about the Christians that you see that are political. I'm talking about a true Christian. My Uncle Roy was somebody that, when you talked to him, he had this kindness about him and this sweet spirit about him that you knew that he was a follower of Jesus, that he was one of God's children. And he was just a sweet, sweet person. And we're going to do these songs today, Wayfaring Stranger and All My Tears, because I feel like he would be singing these to us today, those of us who are mourning his loss. And I'm going to try and get through it because I'm starting to get a little bit emotional right now, but I know that he would be telling us that don't cry for where I am today, because I'm with Jesus. And that's just what we all long for every day, to be these peacemakers, to practice the Sermon on the Mount, to do these things that Jesus asked us to do. And my Uncle Roy was one of those people that did that. And we just want to sing these songs in honor of him today. And
yeah, I look forward to doing it.
I pray that everybody can kind of get something from your message today, and maybe I can get through this. Okay.
All
right, let's try it.
Which one are we going to do first?
Let's do Wayfaring Stranger
it's
first.
Capo 2, correct?
Capo 2. I'm just a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. But there's no sickness, toil, nor danger in that bright world to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over. I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way's rough and steep, but golden just to going over Jordan, just to go over.
That was good. I think your Uncle Roy would enjoy that. All right, so now what do I need to do?
You need to go capo 4.
4? All right, now let me check tuning. So by the way, I said I was going to try to play different guitar every week, at least for 10 weeks. This is a 1970s Peerless guitar. This is one of the first guitars that I restored in the guitar shop, and I really liked it. It's kind of my loaner guitar. If somebody needs a guitar, and I loan it to them. So it's been around here for a long time. So let me see here.
I can't sing this one sitting down, so I had to stand up.
So it's 2 fingers for the first one, right? Not 3 fingers. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take my glasses off because somewhere in all of that, I managed to put my nasty thumbs on both the lenses, and it looks like I'm looking through Vaseline. So, hey, so let me try it without them, unless you want to go clean them off.
No.
All right.
When I go, don't cry for me. In my Father's arms I'll be. The wounds this world left on my soul will all be healed and I'll be whole. Sun and moon will be replaced with the light of Jesus' face. And I will not be ashamed, for my Savior knows my name. Oh, it don't matter where you bury me. I'll be home and I'll be free. It don't matter anywhere I lay, 'cause all my tears be washed away. Gold and silver blind the eyes, temporary riches lie. Come and eat from heaven's store, come and drink and thirst no more. Oh, it don't matter where you bury me, 'cause I'll be home and I'll be free. It don't matter anywhere I lay, all my tears be washed away. So weep not for me, my friend, when my time below does end. For my life belongs to Him who will raise the dead again. Oh, it don't matter where you bury me. Oh, I'll be home and I'll be free. It don't matter anywhere I lay, 'cause all my tears be washed away. Oh, it don't matter where you bury me, 'cause I'll be home and I'll be free. And it don't matter anywhere I
friends. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Just hope that maybe tomorrow everybody wake up early, go through and read the Sermon on the Mount and just see how can we live that tomorrow. And if you come across something and you want to text us or email us or share it on Facebook and just let us know how maybe that impacted you. I know it's going to impact me tomorrow. So let us know. And I also wanted to mention one thing though, that last week when we talked about the dream small. So I had a few messages from people and some text and for my own self. So normally, I make phone calls outside during the day, and I got a wonderful place out there and the phone works. And then of course I'm stuck inside all day, every day. So I decided I'm going to text some people. It's going to be a small thing, but I'm going to go through my list and find some people that maybe ought to reach out to them. And so I had texted quite a few people, and the text was really good because it started a conversation. If you do a phone call, you're kind of done, but this text is, I'm still communicating with some people, and I found out that there's a lot of people out there that you see on Facebook, they're doing wonderful. You get in closer and there's a lot of stuff going on, and so it's been a really good thing. It's been good for me and good for them, and I've enjoyed it, and it just came as being part of that, just thinking small and dreaming small, and it's been good. So thank you for joining us today. I hope this was fun. It was fun for us, and again, other thing I didn't mention, it gives us a chance if we can keep on doing this, to put on some nicer clothes during the week.
And a little bit of makeup.
Yeah, it's been...
Get out of my pajamas.
Otherwise,
sweatpants.
We wouldn't be in the same clothes every day, but we'd be in the same type of clothes. So this has been good. So thank you, friends. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Bye. We'll see you next week.